Hi, this is TSF, and we are back to our reviews. And this time we are reviewing the Injustice movie, or if you want to call it Injustice. And I guess with this statement, you would know now that what are we feeling about this movie. So, but I will let
May I
Mubarak
may
go
I
first. Okay, so
may I
go
add
first.
something? One line. It's
Yeah.
aptly called injustice with the injustice it's done to the comics.
I was literally about to say that.
This is
Literally about to say that.
this is exactly what we are feeling like with the Injustice. I mean, I kind of feel like that those people who have never read the comics, like the Injustice Year One, Year Two, so on, or played the games, they would enjoy this movie. But for us who have played the games and read the comics, oh boy, it's a big miss. It's a big miss. It's a big miss and a big mess, actually, if you think about it.
Definitely.
Yeah, but let's start with what we liked about the movie. So yeah, Sohaib, you go first. What you liked about the movie, if there was anything to like.
What I liked about the movie? Probably, I think the only scene where Superman kills the Joker, that's pretty much it.
Oops.
Because that was from the comics and that's it.
Yeah, I really like how they kept the dialogues as well of the Joker, because those dialogues were powerful even back in the comics. Like, he's like that he's a god who has deluded himself into being a man, and that's pretty much what Superman is. I mean, Mubarak, what about you? What's a good thing that was in the movie?
Green Arrow and Harley Banter. They kept that from the comics. The parts that they've kept from the comics, panel for panel, I guess. Those are the scenes that I enjoyed the most. Like, literally my very first note is like, very nicely done taking comic book panels to the screen, and like literally after that I'm like, what is happening? It's like the beginning I was like, okay, yeah, it's a direct copy, and then like, nope, you thought.
Yeah.
What about you?
Look, okay, so the good thing that I sort of liked was probably like to a degree, like the animation and like the costumes and everything. I mean that was accurate. That was accurate to a T and all of that, and some part of the voice acting as well. I really love Justin Hartley, who, by the way, to people who don't know, he's the Smallville Green Arrow, by the way, Justin Hartley. And I think he was something in Titans as well, but I'm forgetting what he was at Titans. I'm forgetting if I'm mixing him up with somebody, but his performance as Superman was amazing. It was good. It was also Laura Bailey was great as well. And by the way, the actress for Korra from Legend of Korra, she was, I believe, she was Catwoman, and Janet Varney. She was there as well. So for some part, the voice acting was really good. And probably what I liked is at the very end, of course, this was something that the animators, or like the people who worked on this movie or wrote this, they brought this whole thing that where there's a pregnant Lois in an Earth where Superman is no longer there. And if you think about it, back in the comics, I think it's sort of influenced from the comics where Oliver Queen, of course, he's dead. But Black Canary, she sort of dies, but Dr. Fate sort of transfers her into a different universe. So, and that's where she meets an Oliver Queen who lost his Black Canary. So
yeah, that was a good parallel.
Yeah. So now, what were the things that we didn't like about the comics? And I'm very sure Sohaib has a lot to say on that.
Yeah, I'll start with the start. What did they do to Flash?
Yeah,
what was that?
We're all wondering what happened there.
He went by in a flash.
Hey.
Oh man.
And they didn't address it.
Yeah, like as a flash just vanished.
They did him so dirty. I mean, it's the Flash. Even in the comics, he was one of those people who kept shifting one side or another, because he was always the the moral
anchor
of the Justice League. He has always been that. But what they did with him in this movie was just like, okay, he can think at like an attosecond. He couldn't see that. He couldn't phase through.
Exactly. And his metabolism is like higher than normal humans. So are
Mm.
you saying that the gas just affected him? I mean, the guy doesn't even get drunk. So, I mean, you're telling me that a gas affected him? Kind of like, ah,
Mm.
boy, that's a low blow. And of course, like there's so many things, but yeah. So go on.
Of one things after the Flash. The
Mm,
second thing was that really, got me. Superman killed Lois because he was punching the hell out of Doomsday. In this, he was just taking her up.
Mm.
Okay. He was not punching anything. He wasn't punching Doomsday. Okay? He was just taking her up into the atmosphere. She probably died because of lack of oxygen, while
Mm.
in the comics, she died of actual injuries caused by Superman, which was the reason of his downfall.
And
exactly.
that's what gives it
Right?
weight, like
Gives it
the
weight.
guilt, like he actually did that rather than just
Yeah. Just because of oxygen. Because if the oxygen was running out, he could have
Mm.
gotten it back in like 2 seconds.
Yep.
That's his speed. Okay.
Mm.
And for a movie that is rated R, that was not, they could have
Mm.
done
An
so much more.
R-rated scene. Oh yeah, pretty much. I mean, you sort of showed Jimmy being shot through the head, and
Mm.
you showed a lot of blood. So I don't get the R rating. Like there was no beheading going on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mubarak, what about you, by the way? What were the things that you
For me,
disliked?
one thing I disliked was the whole what was it called, Dickwing? No, Deadwing.
Deadwing.
Deadwing,
Mm.
sorry, not Dickwing.
Right.
uh like that's whole storyline, what was that about? Like what?
That
So
was there,
he
by the way, in
comes
the
in.
comics. It was there, but there's a
It
whole
was,
build up to that.
No, but
There's a
there's a whole
whole
build up
build.
to it. There's
Yeah.
sense
yeah.
to that. In this, it's
Yeah.
like Dick Ek Machina. You know,
Good
like
lord.
really, really.
It was a very good idea to get you in this review, by the way, Mubarak.
The problem that Mubarak has, and
Yeah,
that's the entire movie that the problem is, it's
Yeah,
rushed.
it's
it's
very
rushed.
rushed.
Everything.
It's very rushed. It's very rushed. But so yeah, Deadwing, of course, there's a whole build up to it because the entire Justice League Dark cast, like you had John
Yeah.
Constantine, Etrigan, Jason Blood, pretty much everybody who got involved in that scenario. Like Dr. Fate was involved heavily in that, and all of the stuff. So yeah, but yeah, go on. What
And
else?
that's my third point. Like the magic people, they just like, nope, we're out, and they just
We're out.
left. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but we did see Raven, by the way. It's just delivering like,
What?
"Hey,
One
I'm
scene.
Raven
One scene.
Express." One scene, no,
One
no
scene.
voice actress, no voice actress.
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, and
What
Shazam
about
was
you,
like,
Asad?
Shazam was just like, "Oh yeah, hey, listen, I kind of just want to back off because I like my head where it is because I mean, pretty much like okay, like transitioning to the things that I didn't like, and there are a lot of them. Shazam's death, because Shazam dying was the point where a lot of people turned, including the
Mm.
Flash, including Green Lantern. Well, Green Lantern was, of course, ambiguous, but Flash was the one who turned at that point.
Yeah.
And what's
Well,
more
Flash
is that
already turned into a ghost very start in the movie.
Yep.
exactly, like you missed out on a lot of key scenes. Like nothing makes sense. Why did Arrow sort of save Harley? I mean, what was the motivation behind that? Because in the comics, there is a whole lot of plethora of things because Harley doesn't know that Lois is pregnant.
Mm.
And therefore she tries to stop the Joker in the comics and she isn't successful in doing so. And that's where it turns her moral compass as well. And that's why she gets in league with Green Arrow and Black Canary and all of that. There's a whole build up to it. You don't have the lanterns there because I mean the lanterns were literally handed their asses pretty
Mm.
much. Like Superman pushed Mogo into the sun. Sorry, not Mogo. Yeah,
It
actually
was
Mogo,
Mogo.
yes. It
Mogo,
was
Mogo,
Mogo.
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 Yeah, the living planet. He
Yeah,
pushed it into the sun.
yeah.
So there's that missing. There is the death of Guy Gardner and
The weight.
what was
All
the
that
weight
weight is
exactly.
missing.
And by the way, in the comics, Superman doesn't turn evil like just like instantly. There's a whole build up to it that leads to
There
it.
is.
Like the whole, of course, his father being captured. Thankfully that was there. But
Yeah.
before that, even there are a lot of things that he questions. Like, okay, is what I'm doing right? Is this wrong? What is going on and all that? Like Injustice Comics had the most epic moments ever. Like John Constantine outsmarting Batman, outsmarting Trigon and Mr. Mixie Spritlet, making them both fight. Dr. Fate taking an injured and near-death Batman to the Tower of Fate to heal. Alfred beating the crap out of Superman, by the way. Alfred beating the crap out of Superman. I wanted to see that. But
Okay.
no Alfred.
Two things that I feel that are crucial to Injustice, the video game, was the regime versus insurgency. That theme was missing. And then the superpowered pills, which made sense in the video game where you had to have them in a matchup 1v1. That thing was missing, and I'm like, how are they going to do this? How are they going to face off with an evil Superman? It doesn't make sense. You could just wipe the floor with all of them.
Exactly.
Just-
And one more thing with the insurgency. One of
Yes.
the most major characters of the insurgency was Black Canary.
Yes.
Black Canary, exactly. And by the way,
She was
Wonder Woman's
such
moral
a
compass
major
doesn't turn. Yeah, just carrying off from your point, Wonder Woman's moral compass doesn't turn, by the way, in any way. She kills Huntress. She even is the reason that Black Canary dies.
Yeah.
But her moral compass doesn't turn. She's pretty much in love with this particular Superman, and that's why he gets the motivation to do what he's doing. So I'm just like, bro, that's a lot of things that you missed.
It's sad that they've taken such a good game series that spawned 5 or 6 years worth of comics, and they've turned it into this rushed job. Like it doesn't make sense. It would have been amazing as a series.
It would have
Year
been
1 is
very,
season
very
1,
amazing.
year 2 season 2, and then go on. You have 5 seasons worth of for Injustice 1, and then you have Injustice 2. Like, you have so much material. It's like they just threw it away.
I mean,
Also,
there's just so many moments of that which were missed, which were just missed completely. And I mean, if we sit down and just recount those moments, I'm pretty sure this video would be just like hour, 2 hour long or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Injustice has so many moments. Like, if over the course of time, over all the things that's fine. But at least for the entirety of the story that was told in the movie, even in that, there were so many moments that would have, been better if it had any sort of emotional weight. Especially the deaths. Nightwing's death and Green Arrow's death. Both Nightwing's death was more shocking than sad, but Green Arrow's death was heart-wrenching. The reactions to his death were heart-wrenching. When I was reading the comics, I was actually crying while reading Green Arrow. I didn't want him to die because
nobody
that's
did. No,
how-
I agree with you there. Like nobody did, and it comes out of nowhere because, like, you're just like in one panel he's just with the arrows, and the other panel Superman is just punching him to death. Like, by the way, in this one they gave him a very quick death, just like a laser beam to the face. Superman made him into, like, I don't know, keema kebab or something.
They didn't show that, by the way. Where's
They
that
didn't show
R-rating?
that. My point exactly.
Like, lost. Okay, I would have been okay with this movie if they had not titled it Injustice. Had this been a different titled movie, I probably would have said, okay, this was,
Superman gone rogue.
yeah, so Superman gone rogue. I mean, they've done that storyline before, right?
Superman bad son.
Okay.
I'm very sure we're going in some other territory here. Like, imagine they named the movie that way, and the first scene is him waking up with Lois.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, had they not branded this Injustice, I probably would have been okay with it.
If you keep your source material out of it, you're like, okay, maybe it works. It's still rushed. There's a lot of things
It's
happening.
very rushed. It's
still
too
rushed.
short and
Nothing
it's too
makes
rushed.
sense. But like, even if you keep the source material out, there's a lot of problems with it. Like, particularly, for example, how Soeb pointed out, like, there's emotionless, like deaths carry no weight. There's an emotionlessness in the voice acting that we see as well in some of the characters. Joker's voice acting I particularly hate. There's literally no there's literally no weight of this. And I'm not saying because I'm open to like people doing their own iterations. I mean, Richard Epcar, the guy who does Injustice, Gods Among Us, and Injustice 2 Joker, he had never listened to Mark Hamill before. He had never like had that reference. So he went in with his own take on Joker. And it worked. It pretty much worked. It's not Mark Hamill, but it works. So similarly, this guy looks like he had a bad throat and like there's no evil about him. So yeah. But I guess we can now move to giving our ratings.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'll just be ranting on how many things they missed out.
Yeah. I think it's only fair that because they rushed the movie, we rushed this review.
Yeah. Good Lord.
They have made so many great series and they know how to. It just baffles me when they don't. Young Justice, Justice League, the examples are so many. So I'm just
True.
Okay.
True.
Working off that point, remember when they made Flashpoint Paradox? They had to cut so much of the source material out, but they still maintained that weight of it. Like you could feel the Flashpoint Paradox,
exactly.
even though, I mean, the comic line was huge, but then how they had to cut and compartmentalize those parts, that movie still made sense. There was a flow. It was same length, I believe, but there was weight to it.
Yeah.
This like movie, you actually feel when in Flashpoint, you actually feel for Barry, like when he sort of stops himself from flashpointing, and then there's a black screen that goes, and Flash goes like, "Mom, I'm so sorry," and you literally feel that, like, damn man, it sucks to be you. So
a common thing in both movies, we felt, damn Flash, it sucks to be you in this movie as well.
Nice.
Oh man. Nice. So yeah. So Heb, your rating?
5 out of 10. I'm being very generous, but 5 out of 10. That's it.
Okay, Mubarak.
I am being super lenient and I am choosing to ignore the Injustice brand on this. I give it a 6, but this is like a very reluctant 6. If I'm judging this based on Injustice, I don't know, maybe 4.
I see the sniper set by WB on the top of your house.
Blink twice if you're in trouble. Okay, for
what
me,
about you,
it's a 4.5. It's a 4.5, I would say. The thing is, like, you guys know how much I love Injustice. Like, after Record of Ragnarok, probably Injustice is the one thing I recommend to everybody. So for me, this was like, oh man, Injustice. Oh no, what have you done? Look how they massacred my boy. So yeah, 4.5 for me, because particularly Joker's and Batman's voice acting was just something that put me off. It's not that they're bad voice actors. Probably it's in the direction that they were given, because again, end of the day, this is how you work. So yeah, 4.5. So we go on an average of like approximately 5 out of 5.2 out of 10, which is a fair score to give, I would say. I mean, IGN gave it a 4 out of 10, and I agreed with that. That's the first IGN score I've ever agreed with. So yeah. But I guess that's it from us, guys. And if you liked or disliked the Injustice movie, you're free to rant in our comment section, and we will provide all the therapy support that we can try. Full disclosure, we are not counseled therapists for Injustice, but Mubarak does have a good smile, so definitely you can work with that.
We just know how you feel, bro.
That's rough, buddy. But yeah, with that, we'll sign off from this review. Take care, love each other, and we'll see you in the next review. Take care. See ya, guys. Bye-bye.